Hi, this is Defense, the smart law listener. In this video, I am going to explain you in detail about the case of Intercontinental Great Brands V Parle Products Private Limited. Facts of the case. In this case, the plaintiff claims that the defendant Parle Products produced its own line of chocolate biscuits with vanilla cream filling under the brand name FABIO in or around January 2020. According to the plaintiff, the defendant used the labels Fab and Fab for its cookies before the year 2020. After 2020, the defendant began selling chocolate sandwich cookies with cream filling under the brand name FABIO. The plaintiff notes that only the cream-filled chocolate sandwich biscuits identical to the biscuits they make and sells under the brand name Oreo are being offered under the FABIO mark. The defendant proceeds to utilize the FABIO mark for all other cookies. Despite being spelled FAB!O, the logo on the defendant biscuits must be pronounced FABIO. As a result, the plaintiff claims that the mark of the defendant is confusingly similar to the Oreo trademark. Issues involved in this case. Thus, the plaintiff's allegation against the defendant that his mark is confusingly and deceptively similar to the plaintiff mark hold any fundamental facts. Arguments presented by the plaintiff. These cookies were similar to those made and offered for sale by the plaintiff under the Oreo trademark. The plaintiff was further aggravated for the defendant's packaging for its vanilla cream-filled cookies, which is confusingly similar to the plaintiff's Oreo package, while the defendant's packaging for its chocolate cream-filled sandwich biscuits were different. The defendant manufactures and sells the biscuits under the contested name FAB!O mark. The plaintiff further accuses the defendant of passing off and infringing upon the appearances of its Oreo biscuit, which is also a registered trademark in the plaintiff's favor. Arguments presented by the defendant. The defendant claims that Oreo and FABIO doesn't sound phonetically similar. He emphasizes that these two nouns share the letter O in common. Additionally, the defendant claims that the term FABIO, as it appears on its biscuit packages, is structurally, aesthetically, and phonologically distinct from plaintiff's Oreo mark. Further, it was argued that the designs of plaintiff's and defendant cookies are not similar. Although both have impressing on the outside, the defendant claims that the embossing on both the biscuits are not similar. Further, there can be no doubt of deceptive likeness being claimed on the foundation of overall aspects of the packs, since the components used in plaintiff's and defendant packagings are common to the trade. The plaintiff then claims to prove false likeness of the trade dress. Then the plaintiff would need to demonstrate the similarity of certain packaging features. According to the defendant, the plaintiff needs to prove that the defendant reproduced specific aspect of plaintiff's trade dress which is unique to the plaintiff to build a case of passing off an infringement. Let's look into the precedents referred in this case. In the case of Dr. Reddy Laboratories Limited vs. Reddy Pharmaceuticals Limited, the plaintiff's trademark, Dr. Reddy, has acquired distinctiveness and reputation in the pharmaceutical circles. It has also been shown by the plaintiff that its domain name www.drreddys.com, www.mydrreddys.com, www.drreddys.ru and www.reddys.com, and the defendant has also adopted the domain name www.reddyslimited.com. The court held that the defendant should refrain from copying the layout and getup of plaintiff's product and using plaintiff's logo or similar logo which is capable of passing off on the defendant's product as those of the plaintiff. The court also held that the defendant should refrain from using the domain name that contains the word Dr. Reddy for its marketing and sale of its pharmaceuticals preparations. Judgment of this case. The term dishonesty should not be interpreted in the traditional sense, but rather an attempt to mimic the competitor's trademark or trade dress and profit from the goodwill associated with the earlier mark. Therefore, given the facts of this case, the similarities between the two products would give an average consumer over the slight variations in the blue FABIO pack of the defendant and the plaintiff's Oreo blue pack. The court would likely to think that the defendant attempts to make its mark phonologically similar to Oreo by adding the terminal O is successful if the goal is to cause the confusion among the consumers with normal intellect and inadequate memory. For the reasons stated above, the defendants or anyone acting on their behalf are refrained from using the FABIO and FAB exclamation O mark. Further, the defendants are forbidden from packaging, selling, or manufacturing chocolate sandwich cookies with vanilla cream filling in the contested packaging or employing the contested trade dress. Although it is unlikely to apply to the equities that were previously released in the market, this order will also be applicable to the stocks in the defendant's custody that are yet to be cleared. For all the reasons, it is to be believed that the defendant de facto violated the plaintiff's registered trademark. Additionally, by using the trade dress that is identical or similar to the plaintiff's Oreo cookies, the defendant has attempted to pass off its FABIO line of vanilla cream-filled chocolate cookies as that of plaintiff's cookies. The court held that Parle is not permitted to use FABIO or FAB exclamation O for any of its products. Thank you for watching this video. Kindly subscribe and support. Stay notified.